Hello fish fools, Jeff here. So we're going to do some shrimp watching today in my 30-gallon planted Livebearer community tank. There's one right there and one right here. But while this one is a little deeper into the Java moss here, this is the first time I've seen this one today, and it's pretty unusual. It's hard to see because it doesn't get much light penetrating through this cluster of Java moss. But this one has, its head is red and its tail is red and it has a white body. Can't really see the, well, let me try this. The glare doesn't, alright. Can see that it's red head, white body, red tail. This is I guess like shrimp that have like red, like separated colored bands. I don't know how to describe it. Are called Rillies or Rileys, but they have more, like multiple bands. Like this one just has a red head and a red tail. So I don't know if it would, be considered a Riley or Riley. I don't even know what the hell they are. Or if those are even Neocaridina shrimp, or if they're like crystal shrimp or something. What the hell do I know? Alright, there we go. There's a good look at the colors of it. Pretty crazy. And then over here, oh, let's turn the light off. This one is really dark blue, almost black. Well, still can't really get a good look at the color. It's kind of like a silhouette in the plants. But yeah, yesterday I made a video where I was showing the shrimp in my Neocaridina shrimp tank. Alright, there's another one floating around in there somewhere, I think. Well, yeah, so, and I mentioned in that video that most of the shrimp in my shrimp tank, the 3.5-gallon tank, are none that are really unusual. Mostly red, a few blues, and a couple kind of translucent, wild-looking ones. But these shrimp in here came from that tank, and I moved them in here about 3 months ago. Like I thought maybe 6 or so, or maybe 8. I didn't even know how many I had. Okay, there's one colorless one right there. But yeah, they were juveniles. Like I moved them from that tank to this one. I took some Ricciafluitans and just put a clump of it in my 3.5-gallon tank, and the shrimp just kind of go to it like a magnet and start grazing off it, and then I scooped some out and dropped it in here. Okay, there's a red one. Get out of the way, fish. But yeah, and that was about 3 months ago when I moved them in here, and after releasing them, I did not see any shrimp for at least 2 weeks. So I didn't even know if they were going to survive. But now I keep seeing more and more. I mean, there's got to be at least a dozen in here now. I keep seeing all kinds of funky ones. There's one right here. A wild looking one. lost it in the plants. That's a platy juvenile or platy fry. And I did recently see a buried, or not buried, a saddled female. I haven't seen a buried one yet. And I haven't seen any shrimplets, so I don't know if they've had any babies, but I do continually see more and more shrimp in here. So I don't know if they just hide well until they're big enough, if they are being born in here. Here's one on that Java fern leaf right there, or red one. There's their dark one, still in the same area. Try to look closely in here. But yeah, so again, this is my 30-gallon planted Livebearer community tank. So this tank is loaded with fish, platies, guppies. There's a roseline shark right there. Male neon dwarf gourami right there. I have neon tetras in here. But yeah, so this tank has been loaded with fish before adding, there's a shrimp right there, adding shrimp to this tank. And so I have heard others say that to keep shrimp in a tank full of fish like this, it's better to start the tank with the shrimp and get that established, and then add the fish to it to, otherwise the fish can eat the shrimp. There's a wild looking one right there. Right there. But yeah, so I do things differently. I did it the other way around. After having, there's a shrimp going in the back there. Over onto just went to the back of the intake sponge on the filter there. But yeah, so I added the shrimp well after the tank was loaded and established with fish. And it's worked out pretty well because I keep seeing more and more shrimp. I don't know if they're from the the original shrimp that I put in here, or they are reproducing. Probably not, because it's been 3 months since I added them, and I don't know if they would have, if any of their babies would have grown into adults. But maybe, I'm not really sure. I don't know a lot about shrimp. Either way, there's several grown adult shrimp in here, and they're doing just fine among all these fish. I mean, of course, there's lots of cover for them. I guess you could consider this a heavily planted tank at this point, with all the plants growing like crazy. I mean, a lot of that is from Java moss that just spread all over the place and just makes it really bushy and tangled up in all the other plants. And that's another thing too. Others have said that Java moss does not grow fast, but it grows pretty fast for me. Although it has also been said by others that it, is kind of like, will spread all over your tank, and that's what has happened, but it's done so pretty rapidly. And I frequently, when I do water changes, I pull some of it out. But now with these shrimp in here, I might just let it even get more tangly and fill up more. I mean, it's getting darker because it's pretty thick here, and the Ricciafluitans too. It's just blocking a lot of the light. That's all over the place. But yeah. So, if anyone out there, if you're thinking of adding shrimp to a community tank or thinking of doing so, despite others who might say that you'd want to add the shrimp first, according to them, but according to me, and what the hell do I know, but I'd say add the shrimp after. And I do know Collinsberry, I think that's his YouTube name. He mentioned he did something like similar to that, and so according to me and according to him, you can do it this way. And I think this way is more fun. It was kind of cool how, after I first put some in, not knowing if I was going to see any, and I kept seeing more. I'd see a shrimp, then I'd see another shrimp. Days would go by, I'd see more and more. And that just, that whole experience was pretty cool. And just like today, that red and white one, that was the first time I saw that today. How, I added shrimp to this tank 3 months ago, and it was the first time I've seen it today. But yeah. Fish and shrimp. Shrimp and fish. There's one there. I was hoping I'd find that settled red one. It was down here somewhere. I did put some rapashi in here. I think that's what the fish are trying to get at. Like whatever remaining bits of it were, but I was feeding them rapashi, so they'd be like down low picking at it to stay out of the way, as I was gonna do some shrimp watching. Alright, well, here's one back there. There's one in there. Right, like there. Let's scan through this Java moss cluster here. Oh, I don't see any. Oh, I do see that one. Same dark one. Top left corner there. Actually, let's come around the side here. Sometimes you can get a look at some in here. Oh, maybe not. Not this time. So yeah, I've been thinking, all along I've thought I was gonna add some more shrimp, kind of do the same thing, dump some Ricciofluitans in my 3.5 gallon Neocaridina shrimp tank and just whatever shrimp happen to go to it, I'd bring some over in here. But now I'm kind of thinking there's enough in here now. I might just leave it at that and see if they can increase the population on their own. See if they can have some babies, some shrimplets, and if they can survive among all these fish. I mean, deep in here in the jungly brush, shrimp can get in there and nothing, the bigger fish, fry, that's how the fry survive, I guess, hiding in there, and the shrimp, I figure some shrimp babies can do that. I am also planning on adding one of the pea puffers that I got in here too. So that might not be a good idea if it's gonna try to kill the shrimp, I don't know. Might not be a good mix, but I recently got some pea puffers. They're in my quarantine tank right now with a bunch of common guppies. You may have seen that tank that I showed with them. There's a shrimp in the back. Yeah, so, I like to try things that, whether it might be a good idea or not, I want to try it, so. See how a pea puffer will do in here. Like observing the pea puffer in that tank with all the guppies, it doesn't really, there's 4 of them, I have 4. They don't really bother the guppies upon more observation. A couple times I did see some chomping on some guppy fry, really young, less than a week old guppy fry. But anything bigger than that, they haven't seemed to do anything with. They kind of they're aggressive towards each other, but they're not with the other fish. So I think I'll move one of them in here and just see how that goes. If it goes okay, then great. It'd be cool to, have a pea puffer in among all of this in this community tank with all these live bearers and everything. It'd be yet another you know, accessory fish. Like I have the gourami and I use the roseline shark there, as some would call centerpiece fish, but really for me, the platies and the guppies are the centerpiece, and the gourami and the roseline shark are accessory fish. Even though, you know, roseline sharks are not really. They're more like fish that do well in groups. Maybe like schooling or shoaling fish. Now it uses lone centerpiece fish, or in my case, accessory fish, but that's what I would use the pea puffer as. Just add more variety. You know, something new, something different to the community tank. All right. Well, I've rambled enough, so we're gonna end this here. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies, and I enjoy shrimp. Thanks for watching.